Over the past 6 weeks, we've been bringing you the stories of World Vision in the Philippines after my trip there in August. Joining us now to talk a little bit more about that trip is Carleen McGuinty. She's a policy advisor for child protection with World Vision. Carleen was on the trip with me in the Philippines. Carleen, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. Great to see you again.
It was quite the trip we experienced. I know I've put it into my words for our viewers since being back. How would you describe what we experienced in the Philippines?
It was a very meaningful trip. We saw families that World Vision was supporting, and we saw the difference that made in their lives and their ability to send their kids to school and to put food on the table. And then in contrast to that, we saw those families that we weren't helping yet, and the need was so great. And I know that the good people of Ottawa will help us meet that need.
You work directly under working for child protection issues. That is your portfolio with World Vision. We saw some very clear examples of that in the Philippines with regards to kids who were working instead of being in school because their parents didn't earn enough money. So they needed the kids to help out earning a living. How do we make the correlation between what a sponsor does by giving $35 a month to being a child sponsor and how that can help eradicate that problem?
Right. So child labor is a problem in the Philippines and all over the world. And we saw families where the parents just weren't making enough money, so kids would have to miss school and take some time to go and help their parents in the fields and work. And what sponsorship does is it allows family to have some sort of safety net and to have the ability to earn some more money so that kids can go to school and they can put nutritious food on the table. We saw some things in the Philippines like a community garden program. So we provided families with some seeds and some agricultural support so they can grow nutritious food at home.
Right.
We also help them with schooling and make sure that the school is accessible so that the kids are getting good quality education close to home.
Let's talk briefly about a birth certificate. It's something that we don't even think twice of here in Canada. We all have them. But 50 million children around the world every year go without a birth certificate?
Yeah, it's a staggering number. 50 million kids don't have that simple piece of paper that we here in Canada take for granted. And without that piece of paper, these kids don't exist. They are completely invisible to their government. So they don't know what kind of services these kids need. So in the Philippines, for example, we met a family, the Funa family, and their children did not have birth certificates. And without those certificates, they weren't able to access government programs like a social assistance program that would have made a huge difference for that family. It would have meant that the kids could go to school and didn't have to stay home to help their mom with work. So birth certificates are hugely important. They provide access to education, access to services, and access to protection.
And when you become a child sponsor, you're helping facilitate that child get a birth certificate.
Yes, birth certificates are hugely important. They're part of our sponsorship program, and we work with governments like the Philippines and all over the world to make sure that families can access those birth certificates, to make sure that they're not too expensive, and to make sure that they can go to somewhere, to go to an office of the government to get that birth certificate and get that piece of paper that's so important.
So crucial. Now, Carleen, you and I, of course, in the Philippines, maybe have a little soft spot for kids there, but you can become a sponsor for a child anywhere in the world. World Vision is everywhere, really. And you went on, I came back to Ottawa, but you went on from the Philippines to Bangladesh. You saw more issues of child exploitation and child labor there. So folks can, if they're interested in sponsoring a child, it doesn't necessarily have to be a Filipino child. It can be from anywhere that World Vision is working.
That's right. The need is great. Children around the world need our help, whether it's the Philippines or anywhere else, and they're all facing a number of risks. And our sponsorship model helps to reduce that risk, and it helps provide long-term sustainable solutions so that families have that safety net and kids have those protections that they need to grow up strong and healthy.
All right, quickly, we're going to take a look at the board as to where we're at today, Carleen. So far, I believe we have World Vision has acquired 1,439 new sponsors in our region. That is absolutely fantastic. This campaign runs until November 30th, and in just a few seconds, are we doing well?
I think we're doing it tremendously well. November 30th is the last day, so encourage people to go to our website, worldvision.ca/children, and take a look. There are many children out there that need your help.
Fantastic. Carleen, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for being here.
All right, let's head back out to Carlingwood Mall, where currently Anne and Jeff are standing by.